Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on, boys. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to another fabulous, absolutely wonderful spaghetti and tomato sauce eating edition of It's a Sports Show. I don't know why I had to introduce food. You know, we tried this once before, like 20 minutes ago. We tried to do our opening, ran into technical glitches, and I cannot come up with the same thing twice. It's unbelievable. I'm Scott Cray, as always, Dolphin Paul alongside of me. And
Very original.
we took last week off, needed some rest. It's very tough. It's like running a marathon doing this show.
I just feel slighted because the last opening you said I was the one and only, and now
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
the one. Well,
regular.
you know what,
Dolphin
man?
Paul.
That happens once in a blue moon,
Ugh.
and even though it was a bad take, it still came out, and that was it. That was the end of it. So anyway, so what's new? What's going on? What's happening?
Not much. We took a week off after a hard working winter. You know, even we need a week off.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, plus
people don't
it's-
realize the work that goes into the
Oh,
show.
I mean, they
we
think
prepare for at least 10 to 12 minutes before we hop on.
They think it's just sit in these chairs and bang. No, we got to make this all pretty.
We
It's a lot.
It's called scurrying and running to ESPN. Paul, what do you want to talk about? I don't know. What do you want to talk about? Hey, I heard the Red Sox started. Hey, so it's all Red Sox all the
All
time.
baseball.
For the most part.
Pretty much, yeah, absolutely.
You know,
It's baseball season.
This is great. The moment that I know you've been waiting for. The 162-game marathon that is Major League Baseball. I know you'll talk in a minute, give your opinion about
Can
the
I
whole
just
thing.
say it's a long season
Hey,
for
man.
the first time this year?
We got the game on right now. We're taping on Tuesday.
Taping on
This is
Tuesday.
already game 7.
Red Sox
7
home
down.
opener.
Home opener, 5-3. Papelbon just came in after Folk, and I can say this because as long as we're not giving it out live, we're okay. So I'm saying this as we're watching it. Folk gave up a home run, big shocker. Papelbon came in, struck out the first batter he faced in 3 pitches, and there's already 2 outs in the meantime while we started the show. Why in the world would Red Sox management do anything but make Papelbon their closer now?
Well, right now, I mean, you certainly would have to say that Papelbon's your closer. I agree with you. I don't see how you can do anything
know if
else.
Red Sox
I mean,
Nation is
fairness,
doing that,
in
though.
fairness to Folk, the right fielder went back and Willie Moe and the ball hit his glove. I mean, it was a hard
Still
hit
gave
ball.
up the distance.
Yeah,
if it
no,
never hit his glove, it was still going to be a home
It was a hard
run.
hit ball, and he gave up the 2-run shot, 5-3. Now Papelbon is ready to close it out. So
We're like the heck with the audience.
yeah,
you know what? We're trying to catch a Red Sox game right now, okay?
But I mean, even before this game here, as everybody knows, we're taping on Tuesday. The Red Sox were 5-1.
Yep.
One of their best openings
Looks like
in
they're
years.
about to be 6-1 with 1 more strike.
5-1 road trip. Come back home and
Pull off another win, and
they're going to be 6-1 again as we tape on Tuesday.
and just as good as the fact that Boston is about to be 6-1 is the fact that the Yankees are down in the basement in the AL East, below Tampa Bay, below Baltimore.
Last place as we
There you
speak.
go. It's official now. 5-3. Boston wins their home opener, increasing their record to 6-1. Great start by the Red Sox. The only thing that people are saying about the Red Sox is that they are not quite showing off some of the offensive production you would hope. That bottom third of the lineup is really a very almost National League type bottom third of a lineup. They're just not coming around, and you know they're winning games that by far, not by far, but definitely. But they're just not scoring
Right.
8 runs like you
I
expected
think we were
them
going to expect that, didn't we? They lost some offense in Johnny Damon.
Yeah.
And
Well, a lot of
I
people
mean, I'm not
debating
gonna
if
say-
that can
I'm
be
not-
made up by Coco.
I'm not going to say. Well, speaking of Coco Green, he was off to a pretty decent start. He was batting .333, 8 for 24. As I look at my stats, which an unnamed producer said was all blank pieces of
Yeah,
paper.
he's
Just for the record.
Let's take a look at this paperwork, folks. I see nothing. Nothing.
It's all in the
truth
mind.
Is, he's got some
It's
of
all
this
in the
here.
mind.
Yeah, as
No,
you
but-
know, I'm very opinionated. I don't need paperwork.
Yeah,
for
you're
that
very
sort of thing.
opinionated, all right.
Who should I bash today?
But Coco Chris was off to a good start. He broke his
Yeah.
index finger. He's
Right.
out 6 to 8 weeks, so that's a bad break for the Sox.
And now we just found out during this home opener, literally minutes before coming onto the show, our man Trot Nixon now, some sort of a groin injury, don't know to what extent yet. So now there goes 2/3 of our outfield. The only guy we got playing outfield is pretty much always in the outfield anyway, as
And
far as
Trot Nixon
mentally
was
goes.
off to a decent start. I mean, the problem
Sure
with
was.
him is the man can just, past few years, just cannot stay healthy. I mean,
And you don't expect it to happen this early, but you're right. He's
how's that
always
Willie
injured.
Moe acquisition looking? I mean, I guess that's why they brought him in. I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that this will be Trot's last year.
Right.
I
Our
know-
producer Paul said something, last week, and you see it now. he said, depth. Look at the depth. Look at what we're doing now in the outfield that we've got some injuries. That's something the Yankees do not have. They don't have depth. What happens if A-Rod, Jeter, Damon, Damon goes down there back to the 49-year-old Bernie Williams. You know what I mean? So the depth is what will hopefully get us through these times where you see other teams have no depth. A key player goes down, like a Coco Crisp. You have no one to replace him. You start losing games as a direct effect to that, especially when you're talking about your leadoff guy.
Here's the best thing that I see. We'll go over a few points from the Red Sox start. One of the best things I absolutely see, and we talked about this all offseason, is Curt Schilling.
Oh, yeah.
2 excellent games. I don't dare say he's back to his old self because he was pretty good. But you know what? He's
certainly off to a good start. He's off to a great start.
Off to a great start. Josh Beckett, pretty much an ace.
Yep.
He pitched pretty well today, gave up a few hits.
What we're worried about with Beckett is the injury.
Blisters?
Exactly, the injury problems.
But
and still, that's debatable because we have to move on beyond two starts.
Throws some heat.
Yep.
Papelbon is emerging as a closer right now.
They got to keep Folk in whatever status that, I don't know what they're thinking.
Here's what I disagree with. And again, I hate to sound like a baseball basher because I'm not. I mean, baseball's part of the American
So you love the game and you're going to watch all 162 games?
No, I'm not going to watch every single game, every single inning because it's a long season. That's 2 times. Can we keep
We get the point.
Let's
keep a tally. That's twice
No,
now,
but I mean, after the first
game.
game, Keith Folker came in a tight situation. He gave up a few runs.
Yep.
And all hell broke loose.
Because it's the same
thing.
But
come on, it's the first game.
The guy is a head case. So here he comes back, hoping that something good will happen.
Game.
That's all it takes for him to go back into La Land.
I disagree.
This guy's more in the outfield as far as his mind goes than Manny is, for crying out loud.
You have no proof of that.
What do you? It's not
It
like
was
I
one
can't
game.
have proof.
I mean, today he let something go deep, so they're trying to mix. All I'm saying is give it some time. After a month or two, if Folk is as bad as he's been so far, then yeah, they're going to find a way to just sit him down.
First of all, 2 months is a little too long. So let's say you say after a month.
Maybe a month.
We're 2 weeks into it. The guy's already given up jacks left and right. He did it again today.
Yeah, but the Sox
this guy's
he's
brain
not
is
hurting
not
him
there.
right now. They're 6-1.
Get over the fact that he's not hurting us right now because the Red Sox are 6-1 because we have Papelbon. If it weren't for that, like last year, you'd have to stick with Folk. You wouldn't have a choice in the matter. And God only knows how many runs the guy would give up. Look, live with the salary thing, okay? There's no unwritten rule somewhere that says just because you're paying the guy serious jack, he has to be your closer.
I agree with you.
If he fits into that setup, man, if he could possibly be one of the best setup men in the entire
Yeah, but
major
you know how
leagues.
we are
That's
here.
fine.
Papelbon will be the new hero, the new
fine.
savior until he has a bad game and like he's too young.
It'll take more than one bad game. Red Sox Nation's not stupid to realize that the guy's young.
I agree.
He's
He's
gonna
young
make
and
mistakes.
he throws some heat. That's what I like to see. Now, Folk is pitching around 88, 89. That's where he's maxing out. Now, he was never a power pitcher to begin with. He could never come in and throw 98 miles an hour. But I like my closers to just come in and throw some heat, baby.
Yeah.
So I agree with you right now. I'm just saying, back off on Folk a little bit.
The only problem I have with
Everybody's
Papelbon
on him after one game. It's like, hey, just let it play out. And to the Red Sox credit, they recognize it right away, and they're
doing something about it. I hope folks okay with that. Let's hope that doesn't make the situation worse.
But I mean,
the only problem with Papelbon in that closer role is he is young, and like other young pitchers throughout Major League Baseball, whether they're closers, setup guys, or starters, you want to kind of limit them. You don't want to burn them out early in their career, especially if you're looking to have this guy long term. And the Red Sox, if they're not going to produce 8 runs a game like last year or the Yankees did last year, then that means there's going to be an awful lot of save opportunities. I just don't want Papelbon to get burnt out, and then we're hurting come playoff time.
I think their long-term plan, I'm interested to see what happens with his career over the next year or two because, you know, he's kind of projected as a starter, so I think their long-term plan is to get him in the rotation, but
I don't know.
I mean, if he starts to be a lights-out closer, it'd be pretty tough to put him in the rotation because we saw Wakefield the other night.
Wakefield will be fine. He'll do the usual Wakefield thing.
I agree with you there.
And some days he's just going to get hammered.
I don't know if I agree.
I
don't know if I agree with putting Wakefield in between
Schilling and.
Yeah, I mean, I know the debate's going on. I can see the thought process, but you know what?
Here's the thing.
Schilling and Beckett, that gives you a good shot
it's a
of
nice
at least
1-2
splitting
punch.
the first 2 games of any series. And let's face it, because it's a long season.
Three.
Three.
For those of you who keep a track at home.
You want to basically win series. You know
Right.
you're going to lose games. You're not going to go.
You're going to say long season more than there are games. It's going to make this a long season listening
I've
to
got
you.
3 so far. The Red Sox are 6-1. I'm 4 behind.
You're catching up quickly. The thing is about the rotation, about Wakefield, I've always, for years now, been a big fan of matching your rotation up with what would normally be the opposing rotation. In other words, if they're looking to mix things up by throwing Wakefield in the middle of 2 power pitchers, that's understandable. However, you're making Wakefield the number 2 starter. Generally, obviously, your rotation decreases in skill as you go from 1 through 5. Okay, so your 5th starter is not usually as good as your number 1 starter. Wakefield, I would not think, would be as good of a skill pitcher as what is currently your number 3 guy in Beckett. Now, if you... Did I just say Beckett?
Yeah.
Beckett. Why'd you look at me funny?
I'm just wondering.
me think
I'm
that I
just
said
wondering where
something
this is going.
My point is, I know I'm sounding long-winded here. It's going to be a long show. Ding. Wakefield.
Keep your own dings.
Wakefield's in your number 2 spot in the rotation. More than likely, you're facing the number 2 starter on the opposing team because most rotations
More
work
than
hand
likely.
in hand. That's why I don't like Wakefield as the number 2 starter. Because Wakefield is a little diminished in skill. He should be your number 3 guy matching up against another number 3 guy. That's why I liked Mr. Who the heck was your number 4 guy a couple years ago? Oh, never mind.
Arroyo?
No, went to L.A. With the blister problems, and another one that's a head
Lowe?
case. He takes
Derek
methamphetamines. Thank you, Derek Lowe. I like Derek Lowe because he was a pretty good number 4 guy going against some number 4 guys on other teams that weren't as good, and that's why he picked up a lot of wins. Exactly why, I know he's got the number 1 run support in the entire league, but that's exactly why Boomer did so well last year also. He was further down in the rotation, but had the skills. Well, he kind of mixed it up in the rotation. He was, you know,
I mean,
but
I don't think it's.
I don't know if anything I just
I
said
don't- I
makes
don't-
any sense to you, but I tried.
That was a
That's
long.
it.
That was a long-winded
There go the
explanation.
remotes. Click, click. They're off.
No. Listen. I can see the thought process. I'm just not a fan of putting Wakefield set because you never know what you're going to get. So I'd like to see them go Schilling and Beckett. I think that's a formidable one too. I
Right.
definitely would like to see that in the playoffs.
Right.
You know, I mean, obviously, if they get
You know what?
into,
though?
into the
See,
playoffs.
to me, the playoffs is then where you want to mix up.
I don't know.
rotation
I
a
want
little.
those 2 games.
Yeah.
2-0 lead, but that's way down the road.
It's tough because you can't, when you've got your 5-man rotation going, you obviously, that's it, it's a rotation. You can't pick and choose at what point, if Wakefield has a Texas stint coming up and he's not pitching too well with the wind at his back, maybe you make him, the start of the next day instead. You can't do that, so it's just hit or miss.
I like the makeup of this team because they're much better defensively.
Yes,
Okay?
absolutely.
They got a little bit
we
of
saw
speed.
evidence of that
Yep.
over at first base.
They got a little bit of speed with Coco.
Yep.
They don't have as much hitting, but think of the pitching from this year to last year. Schilling is back. Beckett.
Well, slow down.
Well,
Let's not go nuts with Schilling just
Well,
yet.
his first couple games, no injuries, no
Careful
DLs.
when you say Schilling's
nothing.
back.
Well, he's so far.
So far, so good.
That's all we have to go on. You've got Josh Beckett, who was arguably the best free agent acquisition or one of the top free agents available.
As long as he stays healthy, he'll be
you got
fine.
Wakefield. You're probably going to get 10 to 12 wins, a couple of good outings, a bad outing.
Right.
You got Papelbon now, who's emerging as a closer.
Yep.
The Boomer, I don't know what you're going to get out of the Boomer. That remains to be seen. Matt Clement had a good game the other day. So
I like Clement.
I think they're deep
I'm glad
in
they
pitching,
held on to him.
Deep in defense. I wouldn't say deep in speed because they're never going to be a speed team anyway.
No,
So,
but maybe at least
I
if
like
they're
that.
smarter base runners than they have been in the past, that makes a difference. I like the defense. That's my big thing. And that's why I'm a little disappointed with Crisp and, I don't know if you could say Nixon. I'm not sure if he's a great defensive right fielder, but he plays pretty well out there.
Crisp made some nice plays early on the road in Texas.
There have been great plays think of who was at these positions this year as new people. There have been some great plays in center field, some great plays at first that I've seen, and some great plays at third base. All newly filled positions.
And your boy Mike Lowe finally had a good day. I think he was around 3 for 3 or so.
I was
3 for 4.
I was shocked
Well,
when
he
they
was
said
batting
he
on
was
the
going to be
200
like
up on-
7th in the lineup. He belongs somewhere around 5th, 6th. He should be around Big Papi and Manny. This is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, he was betting 190 here before today,
They'll change things.
according to
with
my
that.
stats. But
They'll move him up.
other
and
Red
down.
Sox happenings. Big Papi, who, by the way,
Cranked one out.
at today,
That's all he does.
is going to be in Boston for
Just
a long
cranks.
time.
He's a man. 4-year extension with a
52
1-year
million.
option. 52, which I think is a fair price.
Yeah.
I think Ortiz did well in, he might have been able to get more with another team. But
Yeah,
I think
I mean-
Ortiz did well, but I also think that the boys in Fenway took care of
He'll
business for
be
him,
a Red
too.
Sox for at least 2010 with a club option for 2011.
By then, his skills will be diminished, and it'll be time to give him the boot.
Oh, listen, and the Red Sox are nothing to complain about because he's been pretty much underpaid the past few years.
Absolutely.
Has never cried about it, has
Yep.
gone out and did a tremendous job. And looking at my notes here, this is pretty interesting. Just read this real quick.
The notes that you wrote, I can see.
Yeah, absolutely. On my column, if you read my column on RedSox.com, since signing with as a free agent in 2003, again, bear in mind, he hasn't been getting 10, 12 mil a year. He's been getting 5, 6 mil
Five
for
and
the
a half, right?
until this new contract. He's hit 297, 128 doubles, 120 home runs, 254 extra base hits, 392 home runs, 599 slugging percentage, 384 on base percentage, and a 983 on base plus slugging in 443 games, including 2006.
It's a lot of home runs in that amount
In
of
that
games.
time, he leads the majors in RBIs, ranks first in the American League and second in the majors in slugging and extra base hits, third in the AL and fourth in the majors in homers, and second in the AL and fifth in the majors in doubles. In other words, there's a lot of stats here, and I'm trying to say them out quick, but needless to say, he's been an unbelievably productive player, and 12 mil for the next 4 years, combined with what he's done.
Right.
And let's face it.
And
I mean, he was pretty much responsible for bringing a world championship.
Absolutely. I was
know
just
they had
gonna say.
Sheldon and Folk, but this guy was
The
clutch.
one thing that's not listed here that you and I know, Red Sox Nation knows, and Anaheim and the New York stinking Yankees know all about, is that this man comes around when it's time to come around. I remember him hitting that Game 4 against the Yankees, home run to win it in like the 14th. I think that was the right game I'm saying. And it was almost like when he came up at bat, you almost expected it to
Yeah.
happen. It was just as
That
exciting.
wasn't the only game. I mean,
Because he had done it. He
Right,
did it
leading up to that.
against Anaheim to win that. The guy's just clutch.
top 5 MVP the past 3 years.
Yeah.
No other player in Major League Baseball has
Number
been in the
2
top
to
5
A-Rod
in the
last
other 3
year,
years.
right?
Yeah. So I
And
mean,
that was that big debate about him being a DH, and that was against him. If the guy was a position player, A, he probably would have gotten MVP. B, he might not be putting up
So-
those stats. So
great for Big Papi, super guy by all accounts, and great for the Red Sox who locked him up and then dragged this thing out. So Big Papi is going to be part of the Red Sox for a long
now,
time.
Big Papi being handcuffed to Ramirez, okay? Figuratively
Where was that? In the
speaking.
Inquirer? I didn't see that. I missed that.
Figuratively
Oh.
speaking. You gotta wonder, you talk about like Joe Torre, is he just a product of a great team? How would he be as a manager with someone else other than a great team like the Yankees? How would Big Papi be without Manny Ramirez? And you gotta ask the question because now that Papi signed, it's only gonna be so long before Ramirez comes around and it's time to give him the boot.
Doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
Doesn't
Look at all
matter.
the
Well,
protection he gets.
He gets a little bit of protection with Manny, but Big
A
Papi's the
little
man.
bit with Manny. You nuts?
come on.
Have you been so slighted towards Ortiz's stats that you refuse to see that what Manny has done in home runs, RBIs?
I love Manny. I'm a Manny man. Just
Somebody's
Manny
gotta
being
be.
Manny, but I just think Ortiz is a great hitter, and he'd be a great hitter anywhere he went.
I think Manny needs a
I
haircut.
think Ortiz, when he came over from Minnesota, never played in enough games.
Right.
As soon as they gave him an opportunity.
Well, that's because he was injured, too.
Well, but as soon as he got an opportunity in Boston, the guy's been nothing but productive, as we know.
Right.
Yeah, does he benefit from Manny? Yeah, but so do a lot of other players in the league. They got protect, A-Rod and the Jeters and.
A-Rod played in Texas. He
Well,
didn't get any protection out there.
But still, I think Big Papi, yeah, it helps to have Manny. But come on, Big Papi can hit the ball.
So now, Theo has said, look, one of the things he said in his press conference was, we recognize the love for him in Red Sox Nation and the need for him in Red Sox Nation. So that had to have some form of play in this whole contract thing as far as saying, prioritizing and saying, nah, this guy's been clutch, plus he's the face of the Red Sox, we need to keep him in.
He's a good guy.
That brings up the question now. Is David Ortiz the new New England face? the character, the lovable man. And there's only one other guy on the planet that you would possibly compare him to.
Is he
and
on the
that would be
Boston
Tom
Bruins?
Brady.
Is he on the Boston Bruins?
Boston Bruins. What are those?
The other guy
what's
on the
that?
planet? That's the face of New England? No.
Yeah, right. So Ortiz versus Brady.
Well, don't forget.
Who's the loved one here in New England
Don't
now?
forget, even
Two
though-
opposite types of guys.
Can I throw one more guy in?
Yeah.
I mean, Paul Pierce is certainly up there.
Ah.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, the Celtics haven't won.
Well, the
That's
Celtics'
problem.
lack of winning
He's all alone.
is right, and people aren't recognizing
I would
Pierce's
agree with you.
success
No, I would agree
because
with you.
of
I mean,
the Celtics'
Tom
demise.
Brady's, I think, is still head and shoulders because of the 3 Super Bowls, the improbability, if you will, of their Super Bowl wins, especially the first one. But Ortiz is certainly up there in the face of New England, and he's going to be here for a long time.
What was more exciting, though, the 3rd Super Bowl or the first World Series? I mean, let's get down
Well,
to business
I'm not a
here.
Patriot fan. Definitely the World Series. Super Bowls weren't exciting to me. I didn't
David
want it to happen.
Ortiz gets a lot more credit for his clutch hits than Tom Brady does for his clutch
Oh, I
throws
don't know.
because there's
No,
always got to be someone
no,
on the
listen.
receiving end of that throw that did their job,
well,
and
no.
someone on the other end of before the throw that had to call that play. Whereas
I'm not-
Poppy gets up there and just says, "I'm going to hit
I
home
think you're
run."
splitting hairs. I'm not a Patriot fan, as you know, as everybody knows.
You still live in New England. You got to know
Hence
who's
the
got
name
the bigger
Dolphin
face.
Paul. But that's what I'm saying. I think Tom Brady. I don't think you can
I
diminish
don't
what
know
he's
about
done
that.
because Big Poppy now all of a sudden,
The big, lovable Big Poppy, the man who likes to hug everyone in the dugout, the clutch
Yeah, but
man,
Tom Brady's a good
the man
guy.
that does it solo.
I mean, I don't think that Tom Brady's a
solo.
dislikable guy.
No one helps him hit these home
I
runs.
don't think Tom Brady's a dislikable
I'm not
guy.
saying he's dislikable,
Well,
but
I
it's
don't
okay
understand,
to be second.
I don't understand the
You're the
argument
first
that you're
loser. The argument is
making. You're
what
saying
do you
the
mean,
Big
you know?
Poppy's a nice guy, he's a face? Yeah, so is
He's
Tom
the
Brady.
clutch
That's all I'm
man.
saying.
You
And
gotta
Tom
give-
Brady's not clutch?
Yeah, he has a lot of help. He has a lot
you
of help.
kidding?
No, he is clutch.
Tom
But
Brady.
But he has
3
a lot
Super
of
Bowls.
help.
Come on.
He has a lot of help. There's a lot more than just Tom Brady mixed in that when they win Super Bowls. I'd say
Well,
Vinatieri
I mean,
should get more
it's a
credit.
different sport. Baseball, at times, is an individual game.
Which is
There's
why
no doubt
I
about it.
consider Ortiz to be the big man on campus now in New England.
I would have to disagree with you.
Ortiz walks in, you want to hug him.
Listen,
Brady walks in,
everything you say, I agree with you
Shake his
about
hand.
Ortiz, but you're using that to diminish what Brady has
I'm
done.
not diminishing Brady. Somebody, all right, so you're
he
saying
had help.
Brady's the face of New England then. You're saying he's probably the most loved character in New England.
If I had to put down an answer
Yep.
as far as the top athlete in New England, I would absolutely put
Wait,
Tom
top
Brady.
athlete now. That's two
Well,
different
the top
things.
athlete, the face. Give me a title. I don't know what you're trying to say.
Maybe it's like a popularity contest thing. So you're saying Brady.
There you go. You're
Whoa.
trying to diminish
I hate
Brady
for you
again.
to diminish
It doesn't have to do with
Ortiz.
popularity.
You're diminishing Ortiz's stats.
Absolutely
then.
not.
How is it that you're saying Brady's the man, and you're not diminishing Ortiz, but I'm saying Ortiz is the man, and you're saying I'm diminishing Brady?
Because I have said everything positive about Brady, but I haven't said
I haven't
anything.
said anything negative towards Brady. I just said he has a
Oh,
lot
he
more
had
support.
help. Oh, Tom
He has a
Brady,
lot
3
more
Super Bowls.
support.
What does mean? That's a duck sound in a
I-
plant. What
I
are you
guess.
talking about?
I guess.
If I had to put right now, this would be a good email.
Let's bring it on.
Good email
It's a
for our
sports
viewers.
show at yahoo.com. Send in your emails. Tell us. Hey,
Who's the face of New England sports? We'll give you 2 choices.
perfectly said.
Tom Brady
You
or
want to throw
David
Paul
Ortiz?
Pierce in there? Maybe some Celtics fans.
Let's put down, let's put down Tom Brady, David Ortiz, or Paul Pierce.
And then we have to have a
It's a
representation
sports show at
for
yahoo.com.
hockey.
Yeah, hockey. Forget about hockey. Don't put any Bruins. Who was the face of New England sports? I'd be curious to see what the viewers.
It should be interesting.
I mean, again.
And as always, we'll come back next week and I'll explain to you how the viewing audience took my side and said, Big
I
Poppy's the
disagree.
man.
I disagree.
Oh, we got
I
a
mean,
couple of emails too. I forgot to
I
print them
love
up and bring them out.
Big Poppy, but I mean, it's like I said, you're splitting hairs. I don't think it's an argument worth pursuing much further because it's
Well, of course it's worth pursuing. Somebody's got to represent. Somebody's got to be the man.
Well, I think Big
Maybe
Poppy.
it's not fair to
Big
do
Poppy
during the
is
Red
definitely
Sox.
going to be the man, and I think Tom
Big
Brady's
Poppy's
going
going to hit another couple home runs in the next 2 or 3 days, and we'll see what happens. Hey, let's talk about the lowly Yankees. All right, so moving on.
Yankees suck. Yankees suck.
And,
Yankees.
and we could literally say that. You know, the Yankees did the same thing last year.
They got a tough
started off
schedule right
terrible.
now, and they start off terrible.
No,
Then they'll run off.
boo-hoo.
Yeah, no, they do. They have a lot of road games, and
The Red Sox finally came home after 6 road games.
Hey,
That's what's
they're
impressive
6-1
about the Red
off
Sox
to a
start.
good start. I mean, a lot of people had a lot of questions, including all the experts.
And there's still
a lot of
legitimate
people don't have
questions.
the Red Sox even in the playoffs. They had
That's a
the
joke.
Yankees in Toronto.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Well,
Toronto took
I
a
think
blow
it's-
with their starting
I
rotation.
think it's because of all the questions, but I mean, they've answered some questions, but dang, it's a long season.
What's
Is
that,
the door
4 now?
opening? What's
4
going on
times?
there?
They were giving us a signal that we're pretty much talking about nothing, and we should move on. We got 5 minutes to go. Any more Red Sox talk? Or are you done?
No, I mean, obviously, this is from now till August.
You
It's
don't play
gonna be-
fantasy baseball,
It's
do
going to
you?
be all Red Sox. No, I do not play
course
fantasy
not.
baseball.
You-
Although my
you-
life is one big fantasy, but I do not play
You
fantasy
wish
baseball.
it was. Bad
I play fantasy golf.
more like
Can
a
we talk
nightmare.
about the Masters?
Oh, don't even start with
Phil
golf
Mickelson?
again. Yeah, actually, I watched some golf on, I believe it was Sunday was the... Oh, wait a minute.
That's usually a good day to watch golf.
Was that golf? Oh, no, I was watching paint dry. That's what
that's-
I get those two confused all the time.
Really?
I was watching my grass grow.
You were probably smelling paint. That's what you were doing.
Here's the kicker, right? I'm listening to sports radio while I'm smelling paint, whatever you say I'm doing, and I hear that the PGA players are bitching that they have to play 27 holes of golf on one day. Well, boo, 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 hoo. I mean, not for nothing. I know your
Nothing for
clubs
nothing.
your clubs
Nothing
are
for nothing,
heavy.
Vinny.
Oh, wait a minute. You don't even carry your clubs for crying out loud. What are they afraid they're gonna get a paper cut from their scorecard because they're gonna do 27 holes now? Come on, Paul. You're a golf fan. What on God's green earth are these people complaining about that they have to play 27 holes in one day?
Well, first of
Honestly.
all, the Masters is one of the greatest tournaments, probably the greatest tournament of the golf season. That's number one. Number two, they had a rain delay, so this is very important. Many people want
I
to wear
didn't say I
that.
didn't understand
Many
why they
people
had to
want to
play
wear that
27
green
holes.
jacket that they give
Why are they
up.
complaining?
Well, because a lot of those guys are in their late 30s, early 40s. It's a very hilly course in Augusta, so I don't think they were complaining. They were just saying it's going to be a long day. They had to play in the morning, and some guys played 27, some guys played a few more holes.
Right. Phil Mickelson? The
Phil,
man?
Phil
Two
Mickelson,
Masters
who I'm
in
not a
3
big
years?
fan of because I
come?
don't know. He just directs me when he smiles. I don't know.
Tiger, your man? Is that who you're into?
I kind of like Tiger. I mean, I'm not a Tiger basher, but Phil Mickelson has won the last 2 majors and 2 Masters in 3 years, which is pretty impressive. And he won the week before. He blew the field away,
Right.
won by like 13. So I thought this was a very impressive feat in winning the Masters. And I know you're watching paint dry,
You
but
talk about baseball
Listen.
being a long season. My God,
I
one
play-
broadcast of one golf tournament is a long thing to watch.
Ding! I play golf, that's why. And that course was playing tremendous. 7,400 yards, which is extremely long, into the wind.
I'll take
and
your
those
word for it.
greens, let me just give you a quick intro,
Synopsis.
if you will. When Tiger Woods first learned he was playing the Masters, way back when he got out of college, when he won the amateurs.
Yep.
Actually, it wasn't when he got out of college. He was a little bit younger than that. He went to his college gym and putted on the hardwood to get ready for the Masters, just to give you an
Wow.
idea how quick those greens are. I know you're really impressed now.
Wow. Big Poppy swings a toothpick in the offseason, so his bat feels that much heavier. I mean, really now. I'm sure Mickelson was psyched, though, because obviously if anybody is going
That
to
was
be
decent.
Tiger's
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
foe, it would be Phil Mickelson, I would think, right? I mean,
Well, I think everybody's trying to create a foe, but to me, still.
if there was one,
there
would
is
it be
no-
him
yeah.
or VJ? Is it VJ?
Well, there's a question.
VJ Singh?
Yes.
Is that what I gather?
There's a
Some
question,
guy called VJ Singh?
There's a question as the top 5 golfers in Tiger, Mickelson, Singh, and Retief Goosen, and Ernie Els.
Retief Goosen?
Yeah.
Russians are playing golf now? Holy
But
cow.
I still think Tiger's slightly ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
Email.
He can do things.
What did he say?
I spell an email. 1 minute.
Oh,
Smell an email?
Wait, they're seeing if I pronounce VJ right. So Phil Mickelson wins a golf tournament. Whoop-de-darn-do. Great watching. Paint dry.
Think out of the box. Don't stay in the box.
Whatever. Plenty of reasons to email us this week, that's for sure. It's a sports show at yahoo.com. As always, send us emails. We'd be more than happy to read them on the air. Dolphin Paul, Scott Cray. We got Paul, Mitch,
And Jen.
all in there. Thanks for helping me out. You know
Big staff here at It's a
I'm telling
Sports
you,
Show.
this is madness. Thanks for watching.